Hey everybody, and welcome to Stephen the Milkman's Garage. Today we're going to talk about a topic that's so controversial and so dividing, it's likely to gain you the praises of your friends and random people on the street, but it's probably going to disappoint your parents and maybe your friends and maybe random people on the street. And that topic is spray painting a car. In this video, I'm going to go through the pros and the cons of spray painting your car, some tips on choosing paint and how to do it, some minor stuff. Now this is all going to come from my own personal experience from spray painting two cars. The first was a 1984 Chevy Camaro, which I'll show you a picture of here. The second is a 2010 Mazda 3. Both were painted in a flat color. The Camaro's flat black, the Mazda is flat gray, and I'm going to show you it right now. Oh, what the heck? That's not the right car. Let me get rid of this junk. Oh man, that's so much better, isn't it? So the milkman and I spray painted this car about 3 years ago now. So we figured it'd be a great time to go and tell the things you might not think of when you're thinking about spray painting your car. Some of the good things, some of the bad things. Something to keep in mind for sure with this is that all of the cars I've spray painted, I painted with a matte spray paint. So some of the pros and cons and things in this video may not apply if you're thinking of using a gloss. It's a lot more difficult to rattle can spray paint a gloss than it is a matte color. That's why we chose the matte. And also, we thought it looked cool. I thought it looked cool on the Camaro. I like it on this car, so we went with it. So anyway, let's dive right into some of the pros and cons of spray painting your car. So starting with the cons, con number one is that a lot of people just won't get it and won't like it. And I honestly think that you should just throw this con out the window, because not everybody's going to get everything you do with your car. Not everybody's going to like everything you do. If you like it, it's your car, you choose. But a lot of people do like it. You just stop at random places and people will talk to you about it. They'll be interested. You'll get good conversations with other car people. I've had people at car dealerships ask me about it and they get a real kick out of it. They think it looks really good for a spray paint job. And in general, if you do a good job, I would say about 90% of people will like it. Now, con number two, I would say, is that if you're looking to use a matte paint color, which I would recommend if you like them and if it's your first time and you're not very experienced spray painting, you have limited options. There's limited colors. You obviously can't do a gloss if you do matte. So your options are just a little bit limited. I mean, it's not the worst thing in the world. You are spray painting your car after all. But if you're really good with a spray can, you can go ahead and spray paint your car with any of the many gloss options there are out there. Con number three, I would say, is really the biggest one, but also it's not a big deal. And that is, I'll explain that later. This con is that it gets beat up easier than a stock paint job. That's for sure. I do feel like I did not put enough paint on this car, so I know that contributes to it, and I feel like I should have scuffed the surface more than I did. You should definitely give the whole car a very good scuff and make sure you get into all of the nooks with the scuff pad, because I've seen a lot of paint come out of those areas. And I'll show you some clips of what the car looks like now after 3 years of heavy road driving. So the bulk of the damage is on the front of the car. Ignore some of the other body damage you may see, but you can see there's a lot of nicks along the front from rocks, things like that. And this is gonna happen. You can see here it's clear that some things came up off the wheel and hit the mirror and did some damage. There's a nice scrape here on the front bumper, probably from coming into a dip way too hot. And here's my very favorite chunk of damage back here from when I backed up in my driveway and hit my buddy the Milkman Saturn. Don't worry, he's full Mazda now. He's not about that life anymore. So con number three is kind of a big deal, kind of isn't. Really, the reason it's not a big deal is how easy it is to fix mistakes, and we'll get to that later. But now let's move to the pros. So pro number one is that it's so cheap to do. I think I spray painted this car for like $40 to $50, maybe $5 more if you factor in maybe like the scuff pads I bought and things like that. But it's still absolutely nothing compared to what it costs to get your car professionally painted. If you like the way it looks and it can cost that little, then do it. So pro number two is something that you very likely not realized yet because you haven't experienced spray painting a car, unless you have, and that is that it's super easy to clean. It's very weird, but the bugs and the dirt just don't stick to this paint the same as they do to a gloss, to a clear coat. I'm not sure what it is. but it's extremely easy to clean off anything that I've come across so far, and that's a real pro. So another pro, I guess number 3, is that it looks really cool and it looks really unique, and again, like I said earlier, brings out some really great conversations, and it's really entertaining, and in my opinion it's worth it just for that. So the last benefit I want to talk with you about is by far the best one, and that is it is extremely easy and extremely inexpensive to fix issues. Now all those issues I showed you before, I'm going to prove it, and I'm going to go ahead and fix all the issues I showed you, and I'm going to video it and see how long it takes and tell you how much it costed. Let's get going. So lastly, I want to say there are a few things that aren't really pros or cons, maybe they are, that you should definitely keep in consideration. Number 1, it's still work. You still have to tape off everything. There's so much more to tape off than you'd think. If you have things that you care about in your garage or wherever you're doing it, you have to cover them up because there will be tons of overspray. The second thing is, and I don't really know either way on this, but I feel like it will probably hurt the resale of the car. That's just my own speculation, my own assumptions. I would definitely recommend just doing it on like your older cars, your cars you're gonna drive into the ground, and that's it. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope it was helpful to you. Hope it helps you make your decision. Thanks for watching. See you next time.